Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. Today we will be finishing off our chronograph. This is the SW-500. If you're tuning in today, yesterday we finished off the SW-200. We made a start on the 500. So today we'll be finishing off the chronograph. Let's make sure we've got all the batteries good to go. I hope everyone's had a good weekend. Just get the focus all right. Hope you've all had a good Sunday. It's very relaxed. End of the day stream. No rush, no pressure. The goal would be to get this chronograph finished. We got it ticking yesterday. She's still going. So we might be on for about an hour, I'd say, roughly. Can't be up as late as I have been the past couple of nights because I'm back in London tomorrow. So I won't be on quite as late. But yeah, so we got it ticking yesterday. So we just got to fit all of the chronograph components and the automatic. Then flip it over, do the dial side. Again, with this watch, I only have the movement, so there's no dial hands or case. Purely the movement. But yeah, let's get to it. Should be nice, casual, laid back stream. We'll see, we've got some like residue on some of these plates. I might try and wipe them off. The machine might have struggled on some areas. It feels so long since I've been doing Solitas and ETAs. You might also hear some ticking in the background, which is the Trenton, which I showed you yesterday. Still going strong. I'm just seeing some like little bits to clean up. Fluids probably need changing. Right. So this little spring here, it sits between the plates, and I've got to slide it in. Try and show you. So I've got these two pushers. and that spring pushes them out. It's a tension spring for those two pushes, and it sits between the base plate and the train bow bridge. So slide it in. And it pinged out. Didn't go far, thankfully. Go in for a second attempt. There we go, and she's in. So now these pushers will push back out. And on to the next. This spring, once I get it in place, is there for our minute recorder. It's on the wrong side of the post. There we go, it's now correct. Well, I hope the weather has been a bit better from wherever you're viewing, because here in the UK it's been awful this weekend. It's been non-stop rain. I know, it's the UK, it's kind of what you're expected to get. The classic British summer. Hopefully it'll be a bit better tomorrow. Okay. Just make sure I'll get everything laid out properly. Yeah, I need to change the fluids, I think. Not terrible, just a few imperfections. Before I fit this unit, I'm just going to grease areas of contact for the pushers. And the post it sits on. But I'm not sure what I'll be live streaming next. I feel like it'll get repetitive if I just do all of the chronographs and ETAs. Need to spice it up a little bit. But I think the goal this week is to get some more YouTube shorts uploaded. And obviously the Trenton is currently in development for a main channel video. But I need to finish that off. So hopefully, yeah, get some shorts up this week. Go live a few times as well. Is there anything in particular that people want to actually view on live streams? There we go. At the moment, just kind of doing relatively straightforward servicing, which I think is perfectly fine, especially when I'm interacting and talking. It's nothing too complex. I've got a driving wheel, just gonna oil up the jewel before I fit the wheel. Sometimes the pinion comes loose on these. I have seen it. So just check, make sure it's tight, which it is. There we go. That unit I just fitted, that's what goes through the base plate to engage on the dial side, and that interacts with the hour, the chronograph recording hour. It stops it and resets as part of that system. Right. Before I go ahead any further, am I forgetting anything? I am. The intermediate minute wheel for the chronograph. That sits there. And this little device stops the center chronograph seconds hand. I've got a little hair. There we go. Okay, now that's everything. Nope, just noticed I got a hole in my finger cup. Let me just quickly change that out. And also adjust our focus. Adjusting my seating, let's carry on. So we just put the cover plate on, and that's held down by 2 screws. Move that plate down. I can then focus a bit more. So this is now going to be holding the automatic, and also got to finish off the chronograph set up in the middle. It's going to fit this spring. Put it aside so we don't have to worry about that. And oil up that driving wheel. I'm actually going to stop the watch whilst I do this next bit, because we've got to fit a pinion all the way through. Trying to get the pivot to engage can be a bit fiddly. But it's in, pivot is lined up. That one can be a bit fiddly at times. A little spring for the chronograph center seconds. It's gonna get it so that engages. Just a little bit of oil into the jewel that will house the reversing wheel. There's only one reversing wheel for this caliber. And pivots look good. Okay, that's going to be fun. The spring, almost like the click, holding onto the reversing wheel doesn't really want to sit straight be fun later. So what I'll try and do is get the automatic plate to sit on top and adjust the spring with it under pressure. Oh, it's starting to calm down again. So I can hear the rain starting to calm down. It's been on and off all weekend. It's been pretty miserable. It's been very interesting, I guess, seeing the results on the channel now that I'm a bit more active. Definitely appreciates the injection of, I guess, more content. So I need to get more shorts, more actual main channel videos. We haven't done one yet. Conrad Fielding, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a good weekend. It's going to be a very, very chill, relaxed evening here. Just sorting out this SW-500. Also want to make sure I've got everything set up nearly. Can't be on as late as I have been the past couple of nights. Back at London, so I'll be on for a little bit. See how far we can get this one done. Okay, I think that's everything. Just want to double check. It's been a while since I've worked on these chronographs, so just want to make sure everything is in position. This is the automatic top plate. The post I'm going to grease. And this post, I believe it's the reduction wheel that sits on top of it, which is here. And now I've got to try and fit this bridge whilst keeping everything in place. Got to make sure the post lines up and nothing jumps out. We've already moved our reset hammer spring to the side. Okay, plate is on. Moving the spring. Okay, pivots. You know how I was saying I might have forgotten something or keep forgetting? I did forget something. Thankfully didn't get too far. I forgot the chronograph minute wheel, like a potato. I had that feeling that something wasn't quite right. Thankfully we didn't go too far, so not to worry. Okay, there we go, everything's back in position. I love watching your content, find it very therapeutic. Same with the weather here. It's a shame the weather decided to make a turn for the worst. But I'm glad that you're enjoying the content. I know people find this type of content, whether it's like repairs, restoration, can be very therapeutic, relaxing almost. Our reverser jumped. That sucks. I'll try again. Okay. And again. Just gonna hold it as I get a screw in place just to secure the bridge. I know that's now all good. Do I have any knowledge of the Quarterbert 616 movement? I have to quickly Google that. It's not one that's off the top of my head. (616). Excuse me. You're referring to this caliber. It's not one I'm familiar with. Looks like a relatively straightforward setup. I can't say I have any extensive knowledge of it. It's not one I would have worked on a lot, at least. Yeah, not something I've got extensive knowledge on, or very much knowledge for that matter. But it looks a relatively simple setup, manual wind. I take it there's no complications on the front. I only saw the back. My goodness, it's really coming down. Is the microphone picking up the rain? I've just opened up the curtains a bit more. Right, so I put one screw in, There's 3 holding this one down. So let me just get the other 2 screws in place. Right, torque them down. Got one more screw somewhere. Find it. No complications. Yeah, it looked like it was a simple setup from the front. Oh, sorry, from the back. I believe it's from the 40s. It did appear that era. And yes, you can hear the rain. I find it quite therapeutic, the sound of rain. So as long as it keeps raining, I'm going to sleep very well tonight. Oh, there we go. It's got a few springs to put in place. Where are you in the country? I'm from a county called Hertfordshire. So I'm just north of London. Yeah, just a little north of London. Right. So now that I've got everything set up, okay, I do have a chronograph holder. Built for the 7.750s, but same for the SW-500s really. Work perfectly fine. It's been like this all weekend, weather-wise. Just on and off showers. There are times where it's looking quite nice. Sun comes out, and out of nowhere, just hit with this massive downpour. I should really see what the weather's like for tomorrow, but that'll be fine. Right, where was I? Yeah, it's gonna oil and grease up all the contact areas for the chronograph. Make sure everything runs nice and smooth. goal is whether metal contacts metal, you want to lubricate it. Stop, reset. Start, stop, reset. Pusher functions work nice. A little bit stiff on the start, so I might just try and put a bit more lubrication. Haven't quite got all the areas yet. Yeah, I love the sound of rain coming down against the windows. Very calming. So the first push to start it pulls out the reset hammers, and in this position I can't reset. Second one, so that's the stop. So now the chronograph isn't running. If I wanted to start again, I'll just push it in a second time, or a third time, sorry. So that's now starting. Stop. Start. Stop. And to reset, I push the other button, which then engages that reset hammer. And that will strike the hands back to 0. Just need to make sure I oil that reversing jewel on the top plate, the automatic plate. It's coming along nicely. So doing a general inspection. Everything is looking good. So we can move on to the dial side. So we've got another chronograph movement holder. But this one is designed for the dial side. Sadly, these aren't mine. I'm kind of borrowing them, but they are good. Right, onto the dial side. Sorry, my fingers seizing up a little bit. So make sure we get all posts greased and lubricated. And we can begin. Right, this is friction fitted. I'm going to raise this mechanism cover or setting lever spring up just a little bit. I'm not going to necessarily take it off. That's just so I can slide in the setting wheel. You think you use too much oil? There are times where I think I'm breaching the limit. I'd say I use a moderate amount most of the time. As long as you're not flooding it. It's going everywhere. As long as you're not making a mess, you'll be fine. Nope. Stuck to my tweezers. There we go. Let's screw that plate back down. What makes you think you use too much oil? As long as it's not like spilling over and going where it shouldn't be going, you should be okay. There's times where I've seen oil and grease just spread just all over, like the underside of a plate. I'm just thinking, how the hell has that happened? Unless they've tried to oil or grease the keyless and it's just spread. They've just put way too much. It's spread underneath the plates. Sometimes I do question how some people have put so much oil in some places. Just by comparing by how much I use or how little I use, I think I'm quite generous with, maybe not generous, but Like I'll put maybe a few splodges or grease on the posts. I'm not going to smother the posts completely in grease. I'll just put like a, little splodge. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't go around and cover the entire thing, like cake it in grease. Be too much. Don't need that much. Probably still work. But with watches, you don't need a whole lot of oil or grease for it to work. Very small amounts. Okay, so there is a way to set up these two wheels. And obviously these engage with day and date discs. And obviously you want them to turn over at roughly the same time. So, how do you set them up? So you've got this post here and this post here. This is where they both sit. And I hope you can see it. Yeah, you can see it on the screen, on the camera. This line, which is engraved into the actual plate, that is basically a guideline for where to set the tooth of one of your wheels. I'm doing my best to try and get it as lined up as I can. So we get the tooth pointing down the line in the base plate. I think that's about as close as I can get it. Obviously it acts as a guide. Then we'll take our second wheel and we'll get that tooth to point at the post that the first wheel is sitting on. Which is roughly as it's set up. So the first wheel is pointing, the first wheel, the tooth, is pointing down the line which is engraved within the plate. The second wheel, the tooth, is pointing towards the post that your first wheel is sitting on. So if you were to have a day-date system, they're now set up for them to turn over at roughly the same time. I've noticed there's like a little bit, expect a little bit of a difference, but roughly they turn over at the same time. Okay, next. So next we'll be working around the hour, the chronograph hour recorder. It's a bit of an interesting setup because it's going to be all under tension until I get that top plate on. This is also where that plastic piece is fitted. Tiny little post. Christ, we've nearly been live for an hour already. My lord. Oh, it's already gone 10. Okay. Yeah, we get this one done. We'll call it a night. Maybe a short stream, but can't let the streak end. This is the tension spring. This is where things can go wrong, because nothing's going to be holding it down until I get that top plate on. So basically I'm pulling the pin on a grenade here. Okay, pin has been pulled. We are now live. Let's hope it holds. Just getting the plate ready. Okay, top plate's on. And we can breathe again, because that spring is now being held down. I say I've gotten better at fitting that spring, but I remember when I was starting out, the amount of times that spring would just ping out. So make sure you're in focus. So no, that's all good. And 3 screws holding this plate down. One, two, three. Nice. Just got to torque them. Make sure they stay in place. We're nearly done. Okay, so sometimes when working on what I've got here, part of the rapid date function, and it's held together and it's under tension with a spring. I have noticed sometimes when I go to use the rapid date function, it's quite stiff. I'm not saying that's the case with this one, but just as a precaution, I'm going to put some oil between the spring and the plate. So it always seems to free it up. There we go. Yeah, sometimes this particular part can feel a bit stiff. I'm also going to fit our date disc. There isn't a day disc, so I've only got the date. And time to fit. There's a little cover for the rapid date function. Yeah, sorry, the camera doesn't really like white objects. It seems to be really reflective. There should be a tiny, tiny screw somewhere. Where are you, tiny, tiny screw? I will take you. Nope, it slipped. No harm, no foul. That spins round. It's a shame about. Let me go on to the other camera. Might be a bit more suitable. I mean, yes and no. Yeah, we'll do both. I've got to try and remember how this spring setup goes. I believe it goes there. Okay, just want to make sure I've got the plate the right way up. I need a smaller screwdriver for this job. That's not right, that's the wrong one. Oh, maybe I was right the first time. For some reason it didn't look right. Okay, that's one setup. I've got the other one to do. Okay, and finally, top plate. I see the battery's running low. Got to last a tiny bit longer. I'm going to go into the zoom cam for this. Just 2 screws now. That's all that's left. Okay. And just like that, the chronograph is finished. The only thing there is left is the rotor. I might as well just fit that. I'll get the case for it. Not the case, sorry. Comes in like a little storage pot. As you can see, this is initially a tag. Still out of focus. There we go. As you can hear, it's only engaging one way and the other nothing. No wind and wind. The only thing left for this is a tiny bit of oil. On the ball bearing, I've got a little bit on top. Let me go get the little container for it. Because we're now done with this. But this movement is complete. I know it's only been just over an hour, but this was what I was looking to do today, and it is now 10:20. I have to be in London tomorrow, so I will be calling it end of the stream. So thank you for joining. The goal for this week will be to get some YouTube videos up, or at least some shorts. I do intend on being live again. I'm just not sure entirely when. But I will have to keep you updated. Thank you all for joining. I hope you've enjoyed a very short stream. Very happy we've got both the SW-200 and the SW-500 complete. So a decent weekend. A few other bits done as well. I need to figure out what I'm going to stream next. But until then, thank you for joining. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I'll catch up with you all during the week. Alright, you all take care now. Goodbye.